Hello everybody, my name is Kara, and today I'm here to talk about my reading plans for May. So I'm doing several readathons in the month of May. Those are the Asian Readathon, the mini Believathon, and the Disney Readalong. The Asian Readathon is run by Read with Cindy, I will link her down below, and that one is for the entire month of May. The Disney Readalong is run by Hannah from Tiny Book Dragon, I will also link her. I don't remember the exact dates, but I will put those in the description box. And the Believathon, or the mini Believathon, is run by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and again, all of those links will be in the description. I think Gavin also updated the readathon, so I think you can start at the end of April, because everybody is pretty much stuck at home right now. So I don't know, I might get to some of these before the end of the month, but if not, they will be happening in May. Also, I completely forgot to mention this, but I'm wearing my House of Salt and Sorrows inspired earrings, which I think I got from Etsy. I'll link the shop down below if I can find it, but I just love them. They're like blue stones and they've got like a silver octopus under it, which is like the Thalmos house crest, which I think is super cool. So anyway, that's why I have octopi hanging from my ears. So first I'm going to talk about the books I hope to read for the Asian Readathon, and there are 4 challenges, and these are designed to be as stackable as you want them to be. I have picked one book for each, but if I had to, I could double up on quite a few of these. The first challenge is to read any book by an Asian author, and for that one I'm doing Game of Stars, which is the second book in the Kiranmala and the Kingdom Beyond series by Sayantani Dasgupta. This is kind of in the vein of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, although it's not actually from his imprint. This is a middle grade adventure story that has own voices for the Indian representation, and I really enjoyed the first book, and I can't wait to get to the second one, especially because there was some really interesting character development for some of the side characters near the end of the first book, so I can't wait to continue with the series, and I might possibly be better reading this with my friend Julia. The second challenge is to read a book featuring an Asian character or written by an Asian author who you can relate to. So some aspect of your identity you share with the author. And I just realized that I could use any of the books I picked for this challenge because I'm reading all books written by women, but the specific one I have here is Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. This is the third and final book in the Shadow of the Fox series, which is one of my favorite ongoing series, and I guess now it's not an ongoing series, which makes me kind of sad, but I'm really excited to get to this. I have really loved the first 2 books, and I'm a little scared about what might happen in this one, but I'm so excited because I love these characters and I can't wait to see how everything turns out. I don't remember if I mentioned this, but this is Own Voices Japanese-inspired fantasy featuring kitsune or fox spirits. The third challenge is to read a book featuring an Asian character or written by an Asian author who is different from you, and for that one I have Wild Embers, Poems of Rebellion, Fire and Beauty by Nikita Gill. This is a poetry collection. I have read 2 of her poetry collections and really loved them, so I can't wait to read more from her. And Nikita Gill is Sikh and I am not. I'm Catholic, so this definitely counts for that challenge, and like I said, I just really love her poetry and I can't wait to read more of it. And the fourth and final challenge is to read a book recommended by an Asian, so they give examples like watch an Asian BookTubers recommendations video, find books recommended by an Asian blogger, ask your Asian friend what book best represents them, have an Asian friend choose between 2 books under TBR, etc. And I went with a recommendation from a booktuber I really love, and that is Kathleen from For the Love of Books, and she has given this book so much praise, and that is Descendant of the Crane by Joan Hay. This is a political Chinese-inspired fantasy, I believe, and I think there's actually like a murder mystery element in this because I think one of our main characters, she's the daughter of the king, and I think her father is actually murdered, but nobody else seems to believe it's murder, and she has to figure out what happened. Like I said, Kathleen has just said wonderful things about this book, and I've been needing to get to it for a while, and now is the perfect time. Next, I'm going to talk about the books I hope to read for the Disney Readalong, and this one has 5 challenges, I believe. The first one is Onward, read a book with magical creatures or beings in it, and I have Summerkin by Sarah Prinius. This is the second book in the Winterling trilogy. I read the first book a couple months ago and really enjoyed it, and this definitely has quite a few magical creatures or beings in it. Lots of fae or elves and kind of shapeshifters too, so I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. The second prompt is Frozen 2, read a sequel, and I could definitely count this one for that as well, but I could also count Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa since this is the third and final book in the series, so I will definitely have that challenge covered. The third one is The Great Mouse Detective, read a mystery or thriller, and that's another one I'm doubling up on, and that is Descendant of the Crane. As I talked about earlier, I believe there is a really strong mystery element in this book, and I'm gonna say that it can count even if it's not like a mystery thriller genre. Like, this is a fantasy book, but there's a mystery in it, so I'm gonna say it counts. The fourth challenge is Lady and the Tramp, read a book with a romance in it, and for that one, I have several options I could go with, but I think one that I'm really in the mood for right now is What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. This is actually a birthday present from my lovely friend Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe. I've read a couple of books by Amy Harmon, and I just really love her as an author, and I've been kind of in the mood to read some more books from her, so it was perfect that I got this as a gift. And this is a, I think, time travel romance set in Ireland, and as I was just talking about in a recent video, characters who end up going back in time and then starting to get attached to people there, and then having that conflict with like the time period that they're from and the people they miss from there versus like these new relationships they're forming. That is just exactly my jam. So I can't wait to get to this. I'm really excited about the Irish historical fiction aspects, and this definitely has a strong romance. The main character, I think she ends up like, she possibly has, when she goes back in time, she has taken the place of a woman who disappeared from this town or village. So she ends up getting mistaken for this little boy's mother, and I think the boy's guardian is a doctor who ends up getting caught up in the struggle for Ireland's independence, and I believe that the romance is between them. I just can't wait to get to this. I feel like it's going to be very emotional and very good, and I am excited. And finally, the last challenge is A Cover Is Not the Book. Read a book you judged by its cover. I'm actually pretty proud of how creatively I interpreted this one, and that is Rapunzel's Revenge by Shannon and Dean Hale, illustrated by Nathan Hale. And this is a graphic novel. It's the first in, I think, a duology, and it is a Rapunzel retelling. And the reason that I picked this for this challenge is because I really like the style of the cover art. Let me see if I can show that. And then when I started flipping through, I feel like the inside is substantially different. Like, it's not bad, but it's just pretty different, I think, from the cover and from the from what I had expected the rest of the art to be. And this is something that I'm noticing, and like, I don't read enough graphic novels to have learned this earlier, but a lot of times the cover art is not necessarily like completely different from the inside, but it's a little bit prettier, or it's a little bit closer to the kind of art that I enjoy than the inside of the book is. So I just need to like remember that next time I pick up graphic novels. But this definitely took me by surprise because I did judge the art style by the cover. And finally, I'm going to talk about the books I hope to read for the Believathon or the mini Believathon. And this one has like a really fun map that you follow, so you kind of choose which path you want to take, and those have different prompts. So I think I know the path that I want to take, and everybody starts out at the Poacher's Pocket Inn, and that challenge is to read the first book in a series. And for that one, I have The Water Horse by Holly Webb. I might change my mind about this one though, depending on what I'm in the mood for. But I don't really know much about this except that it's a fantasy book set in Venice, and I really love Italian fantasy. And I don't actually know the story of this one. I think she makes friends, the main character makes friends with a water horse. So I don't know, we'll see. I really like this cover though, and maybe I'll be in the mood for it. And from there, the path I'm choosing is Baba Yaga's House, and that challenge is featuring family relationship. And I'm doubling up with Game of Stars by Sayantani Dasgupta, which I talked about earlier. This definitely, like, at least the first book definitely had a lot about family relationships, and like lots of different kinds of family relationships. Like the main character with her adoptive parents was really lovely. And then also there are two characters who are twin brothers who are really interesting characters, and those were the ones that I think by the end of the book I was really getting interested in how they were developing. Like you find out some more things about them that make them a lot more dynamic, I think, as characters. One of the brothers in particular, I think was developed in a really interesting way, so I'm excited. From there, I want to go to The Mermaid's Lagoon, and that is featuring female bond. You guys know I love female friendships, so when I saw the prompts for for the map laid out, I knew that that was one that I would definitely have to get to. And for that one, I have a book that I cannot believe I haven't read yet, and that is Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin. This is a fairy tale retelling of Snow White and Rose Red. I have shown you guys before how stunning these illustrations are. My friend Shelby got this for me for Christmas, and I have been wanting to read it ever since, and I think the reason I haven't is because it's short, and so I keep assuming I'll have time for it, and then I just never get to it, even though I put it on several TBRs. But this month is finally going to be the month, and this definitely, I think, is going to have a really strong relationship between these two girls who are sisters, and I'm going to say that sister relationship definitely counts as featuring female bond. So I can't wait to get to this finally. Next, I have picked The Black Ice Bridge, and that is featuring an expedition or adventure. And that one I actually haven't chosen the book that I want to read for sure. I might try to get to Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is a book in the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, and it's based on, I think, Navajo folklore. That's a book that I want to get to for either the 2020 Retelling Bingo Challenge or the 2020 Reading Women Challenge. I can't remember which of those it was, but I do want to get to that at some point during the year, so I might pick that up now. And then finally, the last challenge that everybody ends off on is The Bookkeeper's Stronghold, and that is to read the next book in a series. And for that one, I am also using a book I have already picked, and that is Summerkin by Sarah Punius. So even though there's a lot of challenges that I hope to complete in the month of May, I think with all of the doubling up I did, it's not actually going to be too much. We'll see. So here are all of the books that I hope to get to in May. Yeah, like I said, this stack doesn't actually look too bad. Now the only question is, will I still be in the mood for everything that I'm planning to read? I feel like I've been embracing mood reading a lot more lately, which has been great because that is one of my goals for the year, but it also means that participating in readathons is a little trickier, which is another thing that I love doing, so still trying to balance those. But I think I've picked books that I am definitely really excited about, so I don't anticipate that being a problem. I think I'll definitely be in the mood for these for May. Please let me know if you guys are participating in any of these readathons. I feel like I talked even quicker than usual in this video, so I'm very sorry for that, and I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!